Today is Tuesday, October the 13th. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and this is my daily thought. Let me get the social media stuff out the way. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. If you are watching this on YouTube or Daily Motion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, you can follow on Twitter or Instagram, KIRWKC, Facebook.com/KIRWKC. Got that stuff out the way. This episode won't be that long. This is sort of just like my daily thought is a supplement to Keeping It Real with Casey. This episode is more of a supplement to an episode that I did about people not appreciating things. And what I think about with that, I mentioned relationships, I mentioned other things. Some things don't last. And when whatever happens, whatever it may be, that doesn't last, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. It can be a career, it can be health, it can be beauty, it can be anything in life that you can think of. It could be your favorite restaurant goes out of business or something. Some things don't last. And you don't appreciate it until it's gone. At the same time, one thing I'm learning, and this is just me talking today, this isn't something that I really want to go in depth with. And just so you know, with me talking with you guys and gals, I'm doing some things behind the scenes. A lot of things have been happening. I have sort of semi-paused some things because Mercury, you've heard me talk about it because I deal with astrology and tarot cards and numerology and energy and all that stuff personally. So Mercury is in retrograde right now. It had started, which it started now retrograding, but the process has started probably about a week or two ago. And it will continue to retrograde. Well, it's going to go direct, not direct, stationary for a while. Then it'll retrograde. It should be out of retrograde on November the 4th. But the after effects of the retrograde are usually felt 7 to 10 days afterwards. So I say November 14th, the middle of November, things should level out for people who are into that stuff, where communication is a little bit better. You might have recently experienced something where people don't understand what the hell you're saying, and you feel like, I'm saying this, why aren't they getting it? It could possibly have something to do with Mercury in retrograde. I know someone who was recently in a car accident. I also say Mercury being in retrograde is sort of like Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. But Mercury deals more with communication. But also it does deal with accidents. It deals with electronics not doing what you want them to do. It deals with a whole host of things. And especially when Mercury is in retrograde, you want to avoid signing contracts, because usually, because it deals with communication, that means something is misunderstood or overlooked in a contract. And then you get wrapped up in something that you may not be able to get out of, or you find out what you signed isn't what you thought you signed later. So, yeah. But I'm still working on certain things behind the scenes, but I put a little bit of a pause on some things because call me paranoid. So yeah, Um, and it's all love. It's all a good time. It's all a good time. But as I work on things, I see, I had to sip my lemon water. I see that a lot of things are falling off. They're moving away, shedding skin, things like that. And I mentioned this before plenty of times. Remove what doesn't serve you. Remove what doesn't serve you. And I say that to circle back around to what I was saying, some things don't last. And one thing about the universe, if there is a larger plan in motion for you, in tarot cards, it's known as a tower, is what it is, where things just go crazy, fall apart. And some people, when someone's doing a tarot card reading and then the tower comes up in the reading, some people are like, oh my God. But some people are like, oh, it's something's getting cleared out. And that's usually what happens, where something that wasn't on solid foundation, it just collapses. And then you rebuild whatever needs to be rebuilt, or something needs to be removed. And that's what I'm saying about the universe, where some things don't last, where people hold on, and the universe is like, this doesn't fit with the bigger picture for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just knock this right on out of your life. I'm going to go ahead and rip this out of your life. And do that so you can ascend and move towards the bigger picture, the larger picture, in a more expedient manner, instead of having something that is holding on to you. So with some things don't last, it can be you brought it on, it can be the universe brought it on, it can be another party brought it on, but there's always a reason. And something I heard today, everything that has a beginning has an ending. I heard that today, which is very true. Everything that has a beginning has an ending. And I don't want people to get caught up in things that don't last. I've seen people over the years get hung up on that. I remember there was someone I was really, really close with in high school, and I might have mentioned this. And her and I thought that we would be best friends forever, because I was at her house all the time. I was at her church all the time. I knew her family. I actually became good friends with one of her cousins as well. Or actually two of her cousins, now that I think about it. And time happened, and people just grew apart, didn't stay in touch, and everything happened as it happened. But some things don't last. And if it was meant to last longer, it would have. I know that throughout my life, I've dealt with certain situations where it's like, oh, this isn't here anymore. Or, oh, that isn't there anymore. Or this person isn't here anymore. Or that person isn't there anymore. Some things don't last. But also, it goes, you can do it the other way too, where I mentioned this before, to let you know that it's never meant for anyone to suffer in perpetuity. So you can apply that to this: some things don't last. Meaning, your suffering will eventually end. And it just amazes me how life works. I was talking to my god sister, one of my god sisters today. My other one still thinks I'm mad at her, but that's another story for another day. But I was talking to one of my god sisters today because her birthday is tomorrow. And I was telling her about how her being here was the one in quadrillion when it comes to statistics, and I covered this before in one of my episodes. One in quadrillion. Quadrillion. One in quadrillion. Or quadrillion. Which is an astronomical number. And I was letting her know how special she was and explaining to her that because the odds are so astronomical, because the odds are so crazy for someone to even make it to this planet, that's proof in itself that she's meant to be here. Because she had things on her mind. And as I went to explaining the other stuff behind that, how her mother and her father had to meet at the exact same time, and other things had to happen behind the scenes to where her mother and her father made certain choices and decisions before they met, which contributed to how they met and everything like that. And then you go into the conception itself and the odds there, which are very high, and breaking all of that down. I was letting her know that she's definitely meant to be here. And I'm glad that she's able to celebrate another birthday, which she will be celebrating, which I'm confident the universe will give her her day tomorrow. So I'm happy about that. But I tell that story to say, as I've always said before, the universe is usually working things behind the scenes. Even when I mentioned in one of my previous episodes of where you may think you want something, but the universe is saying, well, I'm going to send you this instead, because it's not what you want, it's what you need. You just don't realize you need it. And with some things don't last, don't ever let that affect your mental psyche. Don't let that affect you, because something is going on. Even if you don't know, something's going on. It has a reason. So, especially when people start losing their minds all of a sudden. Even that, which I've ran into from time to time. USPS. Had to sip my lemon water. So, but I can't be too mad at USPS, the United States Postal Service, because Mercury is in retrograde. So, of course, things are going to be delayed. But things are usually working behind the scenes. And it's always good to do your best to remain optimistic, to believe in the glass half full instead of half empty, because your heart's desire, which I also spoke to my god sister about, heart's desires. Your heart's desire will be heard. If you keep putting that energy, your heart's desire, out into the universe, And you put in the work too. You have to put in the work. You can't just let it come to you. But you put it out into the universe. The universe will send you clues. Don't miss the clues. Don't miss the signs. As I mentioned in one of my previous episodes. The universe will send you clues. It'll send you signs where you'll see things. You'll see sometimes why something wasn't meant to last. And you'll also see that there is a brighter day on the horizon. And that's pretty much all I have for that part. Now, for the other part of the stuff I'm working on behind the scenes, just know that I have a plan. Well, I never tell people what I'm doing. And sometimes I don't tell people if I'm doing anything. But I have a plan. And I look forward to unveiling it to you guys when the time is right. So just know there are other things to come. Now, in addition to that, I also plan to pivot as time goes on, because with my daily thoughts, I have focused mostly on emotional, mental, spiritual stuff. And not saying that I won't do that anymore. Of course, I will still cover that type of stuff. However, lifestyle deals with a whole bunch of things. It deals with health. It deals with money, which I plan on talking to people about finance, with credit and all of that stuff. And if you're looking to start a business, if you're looking to go into real estate, what you need to do, those type of things. So yes, those subjects will eventually be brought up in my daily thought. I'm not doing it anytime soon because Mercury's in retrograde. But just know it's on the horizon, along with other things I am planning behind the scenes. And this is my way of giving you as much of me as possible. One thing that people have always said to me over the years is they're like, you know so much, you have so much information, because people will always call me for stuff. And I guess it's because I've been through a lot, because my intuitive consultant, I believe I mentioned this before, many years ago when she first talked to me, she said, you've been through more in one lifetime than some people have in 2 or 3 lifetimes, is what she said to me a long time ago. Because I've dealt with so many things. I've met so many types of people. People in the upper echelons, people in the gutter, all types of people from all over the world, literally from all over the world. I've dealt with stuff in business, real estate, learning about credit, finance, music rights. I know about copyright stuff when it comes to music and things of that nature. I know about publishing. I know about public relations. There's a ton of things that are buried in my mind if I have to sit and just process and pull it out. But what I'm looking to do is give a lot more of that information to all of you, where I'm not going to walk you through things step by step. I'm not going to do that because I don't believe in that. I believe people need to get some breadcrumbs and then take the initiative and figure out the rest on their own. Because you don't learn anything if you don't do. And one reason that I've learned the stuff I've learned is because I've done it. I've lived it. I've been through it. So, yeah. But it's on the horizon. and I'm letting you guys know I will be working on that. Anyways, I'm very chill right now. I have my chicken boiling as usual. And I'm about to go ahead and get going and wrap up the rest of my other tasks for tonight. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting. Thank you to those who have been listening. I'm starting to pick up more listeners in Ireland, of all places, which is weird because on my other channel, my political channel, 20% of my listeners are in Ireland. I don't know what that is about and what's so special. I guess they love American politics. Who knows? But I've started to notice that on this show as well, the percentage of people in Ireland listening is starting to grow. So shout out to Ireland. I love you guys. And also shout out to anyone else who's been listening to my podcast. I really appreciate it. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. If you are watching this on YouTube or Dailymotion, hit the subscribe button. If you want to follow KIRWKC on Twitter or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com/KIRWKC. Until next time, I love you all. Be blessed.